Carry by Kobe Wingfield. Tackle by Michael Zavala.
I should have brought gloves. That'd be so nice.
Colby Winfield with the carry. Tackle by Dominic Robb and Garrett Robinson.
I don't think Noah will ever get hurt, honestly. He's so tall.
All right, welcome in, at least to the audio portion. We hope this stream works for you. We've lost our ability to do fancy scoreboard graphics, but we sacrificed that for maybe
3rd down and a yard to go.
Some, well, more reliability, if you will, and we'll try and at least get a scoreboard up here in a second. But 10-7 here. 3:17 left here in the first half as Lucero will come out 3rd and 1. Big play here for both teams. Erie would love to score here before the end of the half. Hard count here by Lucero, trying to get Warriors to jump. They almost did. Now 3 minutes and a timeout here called by Coach Cooper.
Timeout.
That will give us a second here to revitalize our stream. So stick with us here just a moment. All right. Well, the good news is we are up and we're streaming and we think we're flowing pretty good here. The bad news is that's the scoreboard you get for tonight, and we will correct that here as Erie does have 7, Frederick with 10. After that field goal. Now Lucero run around the right side and flags come flying in. Lucero was stopped short of the line to gain.
10.
The flag came in from the
11,
linesman
the
here on the near side.
Tackle
and
by
it's a
Brandon
hold on
Hornby
Erie. So if you're Frederick, you could decline and it would be an Erie 4th down. If you accept it, Erie gets another crack here. And they will accept, so that'll mean still 3rd down here for Erie. Chance here to maybe kind of upset Frederick a little bit by converting on a 3rd and long after they were stopped on a 3rd and 1. Tigers have just not executed sharply enough here tonight.
No, they haven't. And this is, it would be really nice to score before half right here. And this, yeah.
Well, let's see what the Tigers do. Good blitz pickup. Fire down the middle, and Roper gets absolutely creamed, but he's got the first down, and he stayed on his feet.
Tackle by Joey Nataro.
I mean, he got hit up high.
Oh, man, what a hit that was.
That was Matt Olson that came in and cleaned Noah's clock, but Noah stayed on his feet. That's just kind of the magic that you see all the time from Noah Roper.
Yep, that's Noah Roper, all right.
Tigers trying to go quick. We wanted to show you a replay, but we'll wait a second here. Now a little pass again. That's Mansdorfer, and Lucero Mansdorfer has been working it on the sideline. Real quick, let's go back to that last pass there. Down the seam to Roper. Look, he goes, high points the ball, gets hit hard, stays on his feet. And a good play there for the Tigers. And then another nice little pass again. So Lucero working it through the air. Maybe a little bit unconventional for Erie tonight as they're looking to the sidelines here. Lucero in the shot, or the pistol here. He's got 3 wide. Kana, Mathis, and Mansdorfer. Handoff to Roper, and Roper will just kind of drive his way ahead, a gain of maybe only 1. TJ, the Tigers really haven't gotten the running game going tonight.
Yeah, well, Roper's doing really well, and there's just not been enough holes, but so far the running game looks like, I mean, it's been better, definitely, but it's, yeah.
2nd and 9 here. Sarah will run play action. Now tried to fire the post, and the receiver was hit, and there's the flag. Good flag. I don't think Frederick fans will like it, but Mathis was run into really before Dion even let go of the pass. I think they might even call an illegal contact here on the Frederick secondary, unless they decide that that was pass interference, and they will call a hold here defensively. So that'll be 1st down
Pass interference
here for the Tigers.
Update on a score around the league. Longmont is currently winning 14-0 against Fort Morgan.
By the way, Longmont leading Fort Morgan, and they announced that here on the overhead because that's big for playoff positioning. Longmont, if they win the league tonight, and they're sitting right now, I believe, just a touch behind Frederick in the RPI, so Frederick really wants Longmont to win. Now a fumbled snap is shoveled out to Roper, and Roper does his best to get back toward the line of scrimmage, but a loss of 1.
You know, I think the run game might have something to do with the weather around here.
Timeout, Erie.
It's I believe my phone said it was 42 degrees out here, which is way colder than it's been any other night.
We'll show you real quick while we have a second. That second pass there by Lucero just found Mansdorfer underneath. Tigers have been working that well tonight. TJ, would you like to maybe see Erie continue to go through the air here?
Yeah, their pass game has been better than it has been at any point this whole season, and their run game is kind of struggling tonight. Frederick looks really good on their front 7 looks really good.
Well, it'll be 2nd and 11 here, as it's been a little bit of an adventure here. Fans, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Erie TigerNet. You can like the Erie Tiger Network Facebook page. You can follow us online at ErieTigerNetwork.com. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel and like every time you watch a video, like it. Handoff, Roper left side, fouling a blocker, making men miss, and that's about the most room Noah's had tonight. A pickup of about 9 on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 8. Tigers were behind the sticks there.
That's the kind of run we've been looking for all night.
23 seconds left. They're going to throw the out, and overshooting it was Lucero.
Passes.
And I think the Tigers are going to call on the field goal unit. So Castine will trot out here from the kind of the far hash, or that left hash. And this will be an attempt of 25 yards, so not too far, but maybe a little bit of an awkward angle for the righty. Here's the snap. Kick is up, and it is right. No, that one missed, and man, you cannot tell from up here. That one looked good. I think maybe it was pushed a little to the right.
Turnover on downs.
And so a turnover on downs and a 1st down here for Frederick. And I think Erie might go in the locker room here down 10-7 unless one of the teams can get a big play here. So still 10-7 as we approach halftime on a very chilly night, at least up on top of the press box here.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can maybe access our in-zone camera. Take a look at that kick. That looked like it was...
Jones with about a 3-yard carry up the middle.
Well, it looked like it was going to be good from our angle, but I think that one will have a better angle.
And that's the end
Yeah,
of the
we'll show you that
first
real
half.
quick
The
before we
score
go to
is the
halftime.
Frederick Warriors 10, Erie Tigers 7.
View from the end zone, and yep, there you can see it, just wide right. So, well, that will do it here in the first half. The Tigers, they trail it 10-7. We are not going to go to commercial. We don't have any commercials, so we're just going to kind of take a little break here and try and warm up. It is freezing cold on top of this press box. You're watching the Erie Tiger Network. All right, welcome back into the audio portion of our broadcast here. Brandon Bird with you, and I think on color this half will be Alex Van Brocklin, and if he can sit up here for a second, I don't think he knows he's sitting on my court here. All right, there we go. Well, we are going with our a little more reliable setup here, a long halftime, senior night here for the Warriors, and Erie Trails, and Frederick came out amongst some maybe riled up Erie fans. As you can imagine, this rivalry has been red hot this year. A lot of back and forth, if you will, and both teams wanting to win real bad here tonight. And Alex, if you're Coach Cooper in the locker room, what's kind of going through your head?
Well, you know, they played a solid half. I thought they were pretty solid running the ball, definitely, and defense held up at the end, only gave up a field goal. But, you know, if you're a coach, you probably got to tell these guys, you know, just got to break through some of those tackles. You know, there was like a 3rd and 1 where they didn't get through, and real unfortunate, but I think they'll have a strong half here.
Well, Erie will receive a little fumble there on the kickoff. That's Mansdorfer. Breaks through the initial line, though, still on his feet and kind of churns his way all the way up to the 30, and that's where the Tigers will take over for 1st and 10.
Tackle by Garrett Robinson.
And now Roper and Lucero, they moved the ball a couple times. They couldn't punch it in, a missed field goal to in the half as they got it all the way down inside the Frederick 10, but just couldn't deliver. See if they can come out here with a little more sense of urgency. As Colby Arlington over the football here. The Tigers are ready to go. Mansdorfer in motion. Hand off left side, and Roper is going to cut it back in, and Roper, he's going to house it on the first play of the half. And how about that? Man, wouldn't you have loved to hear what Coach Cooper said at halftime? The Tigers come out, and Noah Roper stripes him for 70 yards. And Alex, you gotta love seeing that.
You know, that was a great run, especially to open up the half when the missed field goal occurred. But one of the great things on that play was the blocking on the left side. You know, they just got him a hole, and he broke through as he does.
Oh, man, the Tigers didn't have a play or a running play over 10 yards in that first half. And the first play in this half is big time. In fact, let's show you that play here while they're kicking the extra point. Actually, we'll put a pause on that and show you the extra point is up, and it is good. Let's take a look at that play again, though. Roper running on the left side, and man, look at that. Makes one tackle, and there's the first real big hole of the game. And Noah Roper then off to the races. So good start there for the Tigers. Gotta love that. And so they will kick it off here as they retake the lead. That is just a good feeling if you are this staff, as it has been tough sledding in that first half, really getting any continuity offense. Let's show you that play one more time, this time from a different angle. And there's Roper left side. Just making one cut. Breaks a tackle. That's what we've seen all season long. And then Roper takes it to the house. So now the Tigers will kick off here with Costine. And this one sent high, end over end. That's going to be fielded at the 3. Warriors will bring it out. They'll try and stretch it out here to the near side. Now bent it back across, a little bit of room.
Brandon
shy
Hornby
of
with
the
excellent return.
30. They'll start at the 28. That's Hornby on the return.
Frederick will start with the ball on their own 34.
So Frederick, 1st and 10 from the 20, not actually nose of the football, right at the 30. By the way, we keep hearing updates in that Fort Morgan Longmont game. But we will try to update you on other scores that might affect Erie's seeding for the playoffs. And the first play is a big one here for Frederick. Roper's going to have to chase him down, and he does. And so they return the call with a big play of their own.
First down.
So both these offense coming out making some big plays.
You see here that I think it was number 6, James Jones, right? He had the outside cut on his defender, and you know there wasn't really anyone behind him, so he got it, just ran down.
Yeah, just a little screen pass that has hurt Erie at times this year, and that was well run. And a little stoppage here. No, Roper was hurt on the tackle that he made, and he's being helped off to the sideline. And oh boy, that is the last person you want to see kind of hobble off the field on game number 10. So 1st and 10 from the 21. And
J. Cole with
a couple
the carry
yards there as Cole just kind
Second
of
down.
lunged forward. And we're a minute in, and we've already had 2 huge offensive plays here in this third quarter. And that play not going for much. Tigers finally starting to stop the run a little bit better here. And I think Frederick knew Erie's going to really try and stop the run. They've struggled, and they hit him with the screen pass first play. Now they're back to running. Erie's starting to tighten things down a little bit. 3rd and 7 here for the Warriors. Jones split out wide right. Green's going to stop, throw the little bubble screen, read well, but breaking a tackle of Nate Hackney, and then rolling into the end zone was Dante Ciaravola, and a touchdown for the Warriors. And it is now a Warrior lead again. And Alex, not many plays here in this half, but it's been big plays.
You know, you're exactly right. There's been 2, even 3 big explosive offensive plays by both sides. On that play right there, you know, it was a high risk, high reward. Erie showing the blitz, and Frederick got the screen for a touchdown.
And that kick is up, and it is
and
good.
And the extra point by Luke Dunker
and,
is good.
Well, we'll take another look at that one as the screen pass kind of getting to Erie here in the first part of this game. This time a little bubble screen, actually read well that time by Nate Hackney. Kind of came out, but one broken tackle, and Ciaravola took it to the house.
Frederick Warriors 17.
So Tigers
Erie 14.
will have to come up with answers here defensively. And you really hope more than anything that Noah Roper's okay, as he was helped off the field. And that would be a huge blow to this Erie Tiger offense.
Yeah, absolutely terrible if you were to go out. He's been so solid, consistent, and explosive for us all season. Part of the reason why we have such a good record.
So back there to return the kick, I believe, is Jaden Gilmore and Colby Wingfield. I'm trying to make out who is actually on the near side. As Frederick will kind of give a little pooch here. This one taken at the 20. And leaning across the 30 up to the 33 was the up man for the Tigers. That time it was Mansdorfer.
Mansdorfer with the return.
And Wingfield will start the series here at running back. So we'll keep our eye. At least it looked like it appeared at first he was going to start out here at running back. And no Roper, already 70 yards rushing in this half. Man, I think everyone kind of holding their breath here. And it is Wingfield that's out there for the Tigers. And I see Noah Roper behind the bench on the sideline, helmet off, chatting with the trainer. So 1st and 10 from the pistol is Lucero. He'll send Mansdorfer in motion. Play action. Pass out to Kana on a little screen, and Kana will lean it across the 35 and finally corralled out near the 37. I think they'll spot him right at the 30.
Logan Robinson.
About, yep, right at the 37. So pick up there of 5 on 1st down. Tigers trying to go quick. Now here's the snap, handoff to Wingfield, left side, nice big hole there. Wingfield cuts it across the 45 where he's finally lassoed around the ankles and ridden to the turf. And a pickup there of about 9 yards on the carry. No Roper still chatting with his helmet off. Wingfield though, good run there. Tigers gonna need some of that here on this drive. And as big a loss as that is offensively, that's almost just as big a loss defensively, losing Roper. Mansdorfer in motion. Handoff again to Wingfield, left side, and he is hit and then just kind of chugs the legs forward. A pickup of a couple.
Matt Johnson.
That'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Rise.
Now 2nd and 8. Lucero will fake. He's going to uncork a deep one. Pretty good one for Mathis, who can't haul it in. It floated over the wrong shoulder, if you will, but that was a pretty pass that dropped right into the hands of Mathis, and I think Alex will tell you he should have had that one.
You know, that was actually a great route run by Alex Mathis right there. It's a little unfortunate that it floated to his back shoulder and he dropped it, but still that shows some promise for the Tigers being able to throw the ball deep in this weather.
Now 3rd and 8. Big play here for Erie. Down by 3. 8 minutes left here in the 3rd. Play action again. Lucero's going to throw a screen back the other way, and he overshot Kana, who had some good blockers out in front of him, but Lucero just kind of turned around and floated it. A little too much mustard that time.
You know, he did have some great blockers out there. It's really tough, though, when you're running right and throwing left, especially off that back foot.
Now the Tigers will punt it here. And I think that's Cam Marcucci running on late here to be on the punt team. Always tough in these kind of cold conditions to get a good snap, catch, and punt. Snap's good, catch is good, and the punt is up and away, and that's actually a pretty good one as well. And it was called for a fair catch right at the 16, and that is where Frederick will take over. Well, I'm still looking down on the sideline, and Noah Roper still sitting there helmetless. And he is sitting, and that is not a good sign.
You know, this is really, like you said before, the last thing that Tiger fans want to see. Noah Roper still sitting over there, not even with his helmet on.
So 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Great response with a touchdown. Last drive. Now handoff right side, big hole there. And enough for 1st down yardage and then some. In fact, a pickup of almost 20 by Matt Olson. And Frederick's offense, they are clicking.
Yeah, this half of explosive plays continues right here. Great run on the outside.
So they'll actually spot it right at the 35. So we'll call it a pickup there of about 19. Green under center, hands it off right up the middle, and that time he was devoured by Cameron Marcucci, who used his long frame and just kind of clogged up the middle.
You know, he wasn't going to stay quiet all night. I mean, he's out there, what is he, 6'8"? He's clogging up the middle. You know, he's a hard guy to get past, trust me.
2nd and 9. Ball spotted at the 36 here on the far hash. 7:04 remaining. No clock for you here with our graphics, and we're running kind of a simple but reliable setup here. Snap, handoff, left side, bouncing it out is James or Jones, and that one
James
is
Jones carrying the ball for a couple yards.
a pickup of maybe a yard.
Down.
You know, that was a great tackle right there. I kind of thought he was going to get to the outside, but, you know, shut it down right at the line of scrimmage. Here we are, 3rd down.
Now 3rd and 8.5, or long 8 if you will. They got to get to the 45 for a 1st down, and they will go double tight, double wing here. Man in motion. They're going to throw it out of the backfield, and the Tigers diagnose, and Jaden Gilmore in the face of Green, and that one came up short, and the Tigers respond, and they force a punt.
Excellent defensive hold right here. In this offense of unpredictable and explosive plays, that was a really good stop by Jaden Gilmore to force the ball out of the quarterback's hands.
So 4th down here, and back to receive the punt is Jacob Mansdorfer, who has been the do-it-all for the Tigers this year. And I'm looking down there, and no Roper's walking around. He has a helmet in hand. He wants to go back in. Not sure if Tiger staff will let him, as that's a good punt that Mansdorfer lets roll down to the 16. And that is where they will start, and that was Luke Dunker.
Ball is down.
And so that's where Erie will take over. Well, this game wouldn't be possible without some sponsors here tonight. And, of course, one of those is Jeannie Hulse. You know, she's been serving the Erie community for almost 15 years and would like to serve you as well. Give Jeannie Hulse a call or visit her online at jeanniehulse.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Well, Tigers get a stop after being forced to punt themselves. Wingfield still out there. Roper still helmetless for the Tigers. Lucero in the pistol. Hand off to Wingfield. He's going to bend it around to the left side, and this kind of plows his way forward. A pickup of 2, maybe 3 up to the 19.
Wingfield
it was a real good stop by Frederick there. No, they obviously don't want to get burnt, and it looked like a pretty good block there, but Frederick just collapsed it instantly.
And it is frigid up here on top of the press box. You can see the breath. Now 2nd and 7 here for the Tigers. They'll send Mansdorfer in motion. Play action to Wingfield. Lucero uncorks another deep one, wide open! Catching the ball across the 30, down to the 25, and then a fumble at the end of the play. But they will say that the receiver was down. And a huge play for the Tigers, and wide open that time was Caleb Furman, and I believe that was his first catch of the year.
Man, once again, Lucero proving that he can throw the ball downfield. Excellent catch, and very fortunate that he was down before the fumble occurred.
And Caleb Furman, great kid, a choir student, making a big play right there. Furman, I think, kind of had hopes that he would be the starting quarterback before the year, but kind of accepting his role. Wide out, and playing some defensive back, making a big catch there. Now handoff right side, Wingfield following the blocker, good cut up inside, and Colby Wingfield just kind of motoring the legs across the 20 to the 19, pickup of about 5.
Matt Olson and Matt Johnson.
That play right there was going to be stopped for about 3, but I love the extra effort from Wingfield getting 5 there.
So 2nd and 5, we'll show you that passing play here again in a moment when we get a chance. Snap, handoff to Wingfield. Decent hole again, and just followed the blockers, and the Tiger O-line getting a little bit better push here this half.
Yeah, they definitely are. You know, they were having a few issues in the first half getting by that Frederick defensive line, but the running game is clicking even though Roper hasn't been in a while. Once again, great run.
Oh, yeah, there's that pass again. You can see, well, we'll try and maybe look at it from a different angle there earlier, a little bit too close to tell anything on that one. 3rd and a couple. Big play here, and a timeout called as Furman was running onto the field, and I think Erie was a little confused with their personnel. And by the way, Noah Roper has his helmet on the sideline, and I think he is trying to get back into this one.
Privilege to watch youngsters learn on the playing field.
So while we have a moment here,
spectators can follow as
we'll see if we can't take another look at that beautiful pass play.
Unruly
As
behavior
Lucero dropped another good one. And by the way, the press box is real shaky, so that's why you see the camera kind of shaky. Lucero dropped back, and they really bit.
Like to remind you of our FHS theater production.
Trust me on that. Furman was all alone.
It'll be happening 9th through the 11th.
They didn't really have it. We didn't have a good look at it after replay.
$10 for adults, $5 for seniors. And
3rd
children.
and a couple.
And it'll also be on tomorrow at 2
Noah
p.m.
Roper back out on the field for the Tigers, and he is kind of high-stepping it out on the field, trying to warm up the leg. And so to me it looks like a leg or ankle or foot injury or something there for Noah. They'll send Mansdorfer in motion. They'll give it to Noah first play. Bounce out to the right side. He's got the edge across the 10, and he kind of just tumbles forward. And they'll spot him out of bounds at about the 9.
Tackled by Matt Olson.
And a first down.
Excellent vision by Roper right there. I think the play might have been an inside run, but he saw the defenders bounce outside and got the 1st and goal.
So Erie trying to respond here. 3:20 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. And a breath of fresh air from Tiger fans everywhere, seeing number 8 back out on the field. Handoff left side. Roper goes right into the teeth of the defense, and a very good tackle. That was Matt Johnson on the tackle, and man, he stood up Roper right in the hole.
Yeah, didn't let him get anything on that play. I think Frederick's really trying to hold him here, try to force a tie game.
Tigers already missed a field goal, as that has been a little bit of a struggle at times for them this year. Now a long time to get this play in. The back judge finally signaling. 10 seconds left here on the play clock. Mansdorfer across the field, play action. Lucero's gonna run it up, wide open in the end zone. Touchdown Tigers, that's Jamie Gnomes.
That was a really great play. You see, Mansdorfer was coming across the line of scrimmage before the play, a little bit of misdirection there, and then Lucero even faked as if he were gonna run, and he found the wide open Elms in the back of the end zone.
There is a flag on the play, and the far sideline official is gonna say the touchdown is good, but I think an unsportsmanlike conduct after the play.
Flag was after the play. Touchdown is good.
So, still puts 6 points on the board here for Erie as they retake the lead. And we'll show you that replay here in a second. It's a great job, Lucero stepping up as he was being flushed from the pocket. Tigers, by the way, will kick the extra point here. I think that'll be enforced on the kickoff. But there you see Lucero stepping up, making the little fling, and wide open there was Jamie Nelms. And Tigers taking a real long time. Furman the holder. Costine to put the Tigers up by 4. Snap is good. Hold is good, kick is up, and it is good that time. So they lead it 21-17 here over the Warriors with 2:16 left to go here in the third quarter. And Erie, 3 possessions, 2 touchdowns and a punt. But offensively, they've looked a lot better here this half.
Absolutely. You know, the passing game, especially in this half, has really been clicking. We saw 2 deep passes, the misdirection touchdown, and, you know, it's looking really good for Erie right now, but don't count Frederick out.
And Ruben Portillo shot me a text, the former Erie quarterback, and texted me before Noah came back on the field. Don't worry, he'll be back. Former teammate knows the toughness of Noah Roper well. I think what they were doing is maybe checking Noah for concussion protocol, and so all clear for Noah. And the Tigers backed way up. They have to kick from their own 25. And Castine will put a boot to this one. A very good kick. And stumbling backward was the Warrior returner, but he's got some room. Tigers trying to cover it well, and they do a pretty good job. The Warriors don't even get to the 30. So good kick that time by Castine.
With the excellent return.
You know, even though they had this 15-yard penalty, that was as good a
Frederick
kick as you're going to get.
with the
You
ball
know,
on
25
the
all the way
30.
down to the 10. Fortunate that he was stumbling and really good kick coverage.
So the Warriors will start it 1st and 10 from the 30. That is exactly where they spot the ball. Referees always kind of like to do that on kick returns when they can, is put it exactly on
James Jones
the
with
line.
the carry up the
Makes
middle.
it easier, as they got to get the nose of the football to the 40, and they get 7 yards. James Jones does on a 1st down carry. 1:48 and counting here in the third quarter. Fans, don't forget to like our video. You can subscribe to our YouTube page. Follow us on Twitter. Follow the Tiger Times on Twitter. We'll have a post broadcast story out there on the Tiger Times. You can check them out, tigertimes.com. Good run there, or good stop there, on the right side. Marcucci in there, Jaden Gilmore, Nate Hackney.
No gain on the play.
Good job by the Tigers, and that'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that was a great stop right there. After the 7-yard gain on 1st down, you know, they had to recuperate, you know, try to get back on defense, and Marcucci stepped in there and started the big tackle.
I'll actually give him about a half a yard, so that'll make 3rd and 3. Ball spotted right at the 37. Got to get to the 40. Roper back out there, manning the safety position. Tigers stack the box. They'll run the pitch here to the near side. Tigers do good to get in pursuit, and a good stop there, and that'll force a 4th down.
Yeah, you know, that was a great play. You know, coming out on the pitch, you know, the Warriors were pretty hopeful, but it was shut down in the backfield, and now you're going to force a punt.
By the way, that was the sophomore Josh Bradford in there on the stop. Bradford has missed most of the season due to hand injury, and that was a big loss, as they felt like he was going to be a big-time impact player, a big kid for a sophomore. And now back here for the Tigers, and that's a shanked punt. That's going to be out at the 40-yard line. They'll spot it actually the 39. And so great field position. 8 seconds left here in the quarter for Erie.
Punt by Luke Dunker. Erie will start with the ball on the 39.
So Luke Dunker.
Update on scores around the league. Longmont
And
14
that punt there.
over Fort Morgan 14-0. Durango
And we'll take a quick break here on the Erie Tiger Network. Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. First and 10 for the Tigers. Handoff to Roper. Right side bounces it out across the 45, across the 50. Roper weaving across traffic into the open field. No one's going to stop him. What a run! Noah Roper, touchdown, and the Tigers extend the lead.
This run was amazing. Definitely the best in the night. Noah Roper started out to the right and cut it to the left, and that is what got him the touchdown. You know, it was going to be a big play beforehand, but it doesn't matter because they scored, and they're up now. Big.
And the Tiger fans going crazy across the field. And I'm sorry, fans, we're having a little bit of a lag issue with our camera. And I think that actually has a little bit to do with the weather. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the use of our replay system here tonight. And we are going to plug the camera directly in. So bear with us for just a moment as we get that set up. And as Christine gets set, and by the way, offside on Frederick on the extra point attempt, so they'll move it a yard closer here. And we'll lose our sight here for just a second. Actually, we'll let the field goal, or the extra point, I should say, take place. And that one, a high snap, good hold, kick is up and good. So we'll lose sight for just a second. Bear with us for a moment. All right, we're already, well, we're hoping to be right back in action here. So well, give us a second, everyone. So we plugged it in backward. I know you can still hear us. That's the good news. As we reestablish our sight, if you will. And there you go. So back up and running.
End of the third quarter. The score is
and that was the last play of the third quarter. So we're going to get situated up here while they change quarters. Actually, they're already ready to come out and kick. As we like to try and give you replay, so we're going to switch our sources. That'll take us just a moment to kind of get settled in here. But, man, Alex, you said it. Just the best run of the night for Noah. Out there near that sideline, just great vision to cut it back. And sometimes that's a dangerous cut as you can really get hit hard. But
you know, you're exactly right about that, Brandon. You know, you usually don't see too much of that vision, but that vision was extremely impressive as he just made it to the other side of the field where no defender was.
That time, Christine will kick it into the end zone. So we even have our replay system back, but it's a little bit jittery, whereas what you're seeing with the live camera right now is as pure as can be. So, all right, so 1st and 10, and this will be the first play to start the quarter. And what a third quarter for the Tigers as they trailed by 3 at the half, and now they lead it by 11. They'll run play action. Tigers get some pressure. It's a screen, and they diagnose that to perfection.
Pass is complete to Matt Olson.
Blitz there was great. You know, screen play, it's always a little risky. Everybody's coming at the quarterback. The running back's all alone, but Tigers were not fooled there. They shut it down in the backfield.
By the way, Eddie Pena shown some good sportsmanship. He ran about 20 yards to pick Green up off the turf. And the officials conference there for a moment. I didn't see any flags. Well, we'll wind the clock. It's 2nd and now 20. A loss of 10 on that screen pass. Tiger defense starting to get locked in here. So 2nd and real long here for the Warriors. It kind of felt like the Warriors have been playing with that emotional edge. And then the Tigers, that big play by Noah just kind of reset the mechanism. Now a little pump fake and out, up, down the sideline, but thrown out. And Roper was trying to close in quick. It was a little almost a wheel route out of the backfield. On the way.
Good route there by the tailback. You know, we might see more, or we have seen a little bit of that floating ball in the air. You know, could be some of the weather, but good defensive stand. Let's see if the Tigers can get it here on 3rd and 20.
We'll show you both plays there defensively. It was a wheel route, and it was open, just threw it a little wide. That's our end zone view. I think Grayson Wolf, one of our own, running that camera down there behind that end zone. So here we go, 3rd and 20. We'll throw a quick pass, a hook and ladder, and it does pick up about 12 yards, but on it was Colby Wingfield.
Good defensive hold by the Tigers here. 3rd and 20, put themselves in a great situation. Now they're going to get the ball back with hopefully a good field position.
I like the play call there from Frederick, a little gadget play. I don't think too risky. A lot of teams don't like to throw those laterals, but man, all it took was one man to beat, and luckily Wingfield made that play. Now here comes the punt. This one, a wobbler, and that one is also shanked. Now, watching the linesman come up the sideline, and he is going to mark that out at the, well, 45. And it was actually the back judge that came up and he marked out at the 50. So that's, or the 45, I beg your pardon. So that's where Erie will take over.
The FHS Booster Club would like to thank their sponsors for tonight's game. Remax Momentum.
Erie
Linex
played
Boulder,
solid here defensively to open up
Realty.
this quarter. And actually, we'll take a quick peek here at that little hook and ladder play. See, it was run pretty well there, but Wingfield made a nice stop to end out any threat. 4th quarter. Erie leads and has great field position, and one score might salt the game. And not much going that time. A pickup of maybe a yard for Roper.
Matt Olson.
Tigers trying to win the Miners trophy here again. And what has been a dominant run for the Tigers, really throughout the history of the Miners Trophy. Even look back into some games that were played many decades ago. And wide open in the middle of the field, and that's a touchdown, and Lucero's been feeling it tonight.
Oh, excellent pass by Lucero. You know, oh man, he found the seam right in the middle of the field, and they were playing zone coverage, and they got burnt for it. Excellent pass, and the Tigers up big now.
And that was Zach Rees with the touchdown. And, well, this is starting to turn ugly for the Warriors.
You know, you said it right. The Tigers have seemingly been unstoppable in this half, whether it be Noah Roper running the ball all the way downfield or Lucero connecting on deep plays. Even defense is coming up big right now.
By the way, I think part of the issue is that extra point is no good. I don't know if that was blocked.
Extra point is no good.
We're a little laggy here. Our equipment, as I'm touching it, is so cold that I think it's causing some problems for us. So I apologize if it's a hair laggy. But let's take a look at that touchdown again. As Lucero play action and had two guys wide open down the middle of the field. All the Warriors just biting hard on that play action. In fact, you run that back here. And look at that play action. Little fake there to Roper, and you have both linebackers and the safety, everyone biting on that action. And there is two guys running wide open down the field and no one within 10 yards of Zach Rees as he strolls into the end zone. So Tigers now up 34-17. By the way, the Tigers in all sports against Frederick since Max Prep started are 69-39 in this rivalry. But specifically football, Tigers on a nice streak. as that one will go through the end zone. Of course, the Tigers won
Frederick will start with
last
the
year.
ball on the 20.
You might remember 2 years ago, the infamous last-second touchdown that Erie scored when they didn't need to. Coach Summers, that was his decision, and that did not sit well with, I think, Frederick Warriors or even Erie Tigers. The last time Frederick won was all the way back in 2013. So Erie trying to make it 4 in a row here.
Jake Green's pass
Jake
is
Green
complete to
completes the
Dante
pass.
Charmula.
But now if you're Frederick, you got to go
Pass is
quick and you got to
complete
put
for
the
a
ball through the
Warrior
air.
First down.
Absolutely. I mean, what Erie's basically done here is they've taken away the run game. You know, running the ball, you're going to run out of time.
Green rolling, being pressured by Bradford, and it's picked off by Mansdorfer. There is a flag. And they might call this offensive pass interference, as I actually thought the receiver kind of pushed off Mansdorfer and then he closed anyway. Man, if this is an interception and it's going to be an illegal man downfield, declined, and it's picked off, and Erie is rolling here in Frederick.
Jacob Mansdorfer being great on both sides of the ball, coming up with a big interception, giving Erie an excellent advantage point right here. Really give props to the defenders rushing Jake Green, the quarterback, forcing him to throw it maybe when he didn't want to.
And here's the little interception. Pressure again by Bradford, and then Mansdorfer just stepped in front of the receiver and picked it up. Great to see if you are an Erie Tiger fan. They are rolling now, and our broadcast finally starting to roll a little bit in terms of not dropping the stream, so we're excited about that. Always have a backup in place. We did, and hey, it's finally working out for us a little bit. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Handoff to Roper, right side, big hole. Stutter steps to his left and finally brought down after he picks up about 9.
Excellent blocking right there on the offensive line, as they've been doing most of the night, giving Roper big advantages, big holes to walk through essentially.
So 2nd and only a couple here. Tigers, remember, they were down 14-17, or 10-7 at the half. They scored a quick touchdown, gave up a quick touchdown, and from then on, it has been all Erie. Handoff Roper, right side, nice little hole there, bounces it to the outside. Nice little stutter step again, and Noah, he never likes to kind of run toward that sideline. He always invites contact, and he cannot be fun to tackle. Times it's like he's a bowling ball covered in knives.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a pretty accurate description. He's always cutting in to get more yards, and if you're the defender, even though that was a very good tackle by the defender, you got to be a little scared having this guy coming at you.
So 1st and 10, 8:15 and counting here in the 4th quarter. All Erie right now. Handoff Roper up the middle, and again a nice burst there for Noah, and he's got 10 yards and I think another Erie first down.
You know, they're just pounding the rock right now. They're killing time off the clock, not giving Frederick any opportunity to score, and they're also working downfield, scoring for themselves. We'll see what they can do here.
Tigers now, I think, a little bit content to kind of take their time. Second and 1, they'll actually call him short of the first down. Thought he got it across the sticks. So the knee hit a little earlier. Handoff to Roper, makes one man miss at the line of scrimmage and then has enough for a first down as he just kind of drives his feet toward the 5. They'll actually spot him down at the 6.
That was such a good cut in the backfield by Roper. You know, he saw the defender coming right at him, and he would have taken a loss. But, you know, the quick jump cut to the left just to get past the line of scrimmage and get a first down. Great run by him, and we'll see the Tigers most likely take their time here.
Yeah, Erie real content now. Hand off to Wingfield, who leans it near the 5. And I think actually the Tigers will gladly
with the carry. Tackle by Shane
will gladly
Johnson.
accept 3 plays here to punch it in if that's how many it takes.
Yeah, you know, they want to probably value time over points here because those guys running around down there probably aren't having too much fun in the cold. I know we're not, but yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the weather, Erie's having a lot more fun right now than Frederick.
Yeah.
2nd and goal. Snap, left side. Roper bounces off a blocker, still on his feet, and just kind of moves the pile forward toward the goal line inside the 1.
He's absolutely relentless. You just see him out there, and you see a guy that wants nothing but to score on you every single time he gets the ball, and he does not give up very easily.
Like you said, Erie would be happy to take 3 plays to punch it in. Now they're only a half-yard away here from another touchdown. And it seemed like this one could be one of those games that comes down to a big play late in the 4th, and Erie kind of running away with it now. Ansdorfer
in motion again.
In motion, and no Roper. Who else?
Who
Walking
else?
into the end zone, and a touchdown for the Tigers, and they are up big here in Frederick on Frederick's senior night, and they are going to win the Miners Trophy here again.
Yeah, you know, they did this thing here where they did it on the other side of the field where they have Mansdorfer. He's coming from the right side, and he's throwing some misdirection at him, and they just kind of go up the middle and see if they take the bait.
And when we show you the replay here, you're going to see the whole, well, I think maybe we could have driven a couple trucks through that hole as that snap gets away. Costine will pick it up, and he'll just go right to the turf.
Smart play. Don't want to risk injury there.
And we're trying to download that last touchdown play, and we think we got it, and we'll take another peek. And how about this? You got Colby Arlington, Nate Hackney, Cam Marcucci, all there on that right side. And look at that hole right there. Oh, man, that is a big hole down at the goal line, and not much Noah had to do but follow those big guys there up front. Fun to see. Well, Erie's going to move to 8-2. We feel pretty confident saying that here with 5:24 left to play. And Frederick fans starting to funnel kind of out of the stadium now. Nice facility, nice people here at Frederick in terms of taking care of us. We really appreciate them as we see that our video is frozen. In fact, let me re-jump our iPad here. And
kick goes into the end zone.
Well, I'm not
Rogers
sure
will start
if
with the
we
ball
are
on the 20.
frozen or not. We see that our iPad is having a little issue. Oh, there we go. And we were able to jump start it back up. It actually want us to restart. It's cold here, and electronic equipment does not do well in real cold conditions. You kind of like it cool, but when it's this cold, it kind of bogs everything down.
James Jones with the carry.
James Jones with the carry, and Erie doing well out there defensively here this second half.
I don't know, maybe busted play, kind of questionable play call late in the game, but you know, it's whatever works. Erie's still standing tall defensively.
2nd and 9. Little reverse action there. There's Jones. Good hole
James
up
Jones
the
with a
middle,
great
and
carry
he's
up
got
the
enough
middle
for a first down.
Warrior.
Well,
First down.
here I am talking about their questionable play call, and then that happens. You know, the strength of this team, same as ours, their running game. So, you know, if it works, stick with it.
And they are playing music during the game. Here, they had to quickly shut that down. 1st and 10. Play action. Green trying to make his receiver run, and who else? There's Bradford again. And he's going to be fun to watch the next few years here for Erie.
This guy has proven tonight that he's a monster. It's really unfortunate he's been hurt a lot of the season, but he has been just getting back there, basically making the quarterback have nightmares.
Jack Bradford coming off, or Josh Bradford, the brother of Jack, who is on a big-time scholarship to Ohio State to fence, as that one's handed off up the middle. And I know Jack got a lot of scholarship money in terms of percentage-wise to be a part of that fencing team. That's fun to see. Erie athletes. We have player in the NHL. We have a Erie alum now fencing for Ohio State. Rio Sanchez out at Central Arkansas playing some D1 softball. You saw maybe the article in the Tiger Times about Izzy Hagman. So a lot of good athletes coming out of Erie here the last handful of years. Also,
Mile Michelson, who's going to be playing Division I volleyball at Alabama.
University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Birmingham, that's right.
The Dragons, I believe. Yeah, another D1 player.
Congrats to her.
From Erie High School. It's fun. Anytime you can get a big-time player in a sport, it's fun, and it's not that often, unless you're really at a powerhouse. But Erie, they're a 4A school, they're 3A in football, and yet they continue to churn out some good talent, and that's fun to watch if you're a Tiger fan. Handoff up the middle. And first down, that's Matt Olson.
Another Warrior first down.
Well, Warriors will have to hope that RPI breaks their way. Tri-Valley could very well get 5 teams into the playoffs. Erie, Roosevelt, Meade, pretty much shoo-ins. Holy Family, they're kind of on the bubble. Frederick, they're there. I think they might sneak in. They're kind of on the bubble. Berthoud, they're even not too far outside looking in. And it'll be interesting to see exactly what transpires as the RPI will come out tomorrow, and that'll give us a real clear picture as to who is going where, playing who, and the brackets will come out. We'll know where we're going to be traveling next week, as Erie's not a conference champion. Conference champions, if they're in the top 16 of the RPI, by the way, they automatically get to host a first-round game. Well, there are seven conferences. We know that Roosevelt's ahead of us in the RPI, so they would probably be the 8th team to get to host should that happen. And so it's possible that Erie settles in somewhere around a 10-11 seed, just kind of depending on how things shake out. If there is an RPI conference champion outside of the RPI, top 16, they get no priority. In fact, they could be seated 16th, 15th, so that would bump Erie up a little bit. But I think talking with Mr. Carpenter, kind of hoping that maybe Erie gets about an 11 or 12 seed, go out on the road. They play a conference champion 5 seed. A good shot of winning with how Erie has played, as they've been in the top 5 most of the year. And then if that happens, you then host the next game, assuming the other team that you're about to play isn't a high seed that upset as well. But Erie might host a second-round playoff game. Of course, they'd have to win next week first, and we never want to put the cart ahead of the horse, especially when it comes to playoff football, as Frederick saving face a little bit there with a touchdown by Matt Olson. By the way, when we reset our iPad, we lost our scoreboard, so it's now 40-23 with 1:21 left.
You know, going back to playoff seeding and what could potentially happen, you know, like you said, you don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but I don't know. I think this team, they can make some noise in the playoffs at very minimum.
Well, on to kick the extra point here are the Warriors. Cut the lead down here to 16 points. It's 2 possessions, 1:21 left, so gotta imagine we will see some kind of onside kick here. But it's been a good second half for the Tigers. Started off maybe a little bit shaky, at least I know for me it was seemed a little bit nervy, and it didn't seem like Erie was engaged in this game quite the same way that Frederick was. Frederick, revenge on their mind. There's been a little bit of bad blood between students here, particularly I think this year. And I know Mr. Carpenter and the Erie administration really wanting Erie to show good sportsmanship, so a lot of students signed a sportsmanship pledge before the game, and they got a free towel for doing so. And hasn't seemed like anything has really flared up tonight. That's good to see, but I think what's best to see tonight is Erie really taking care of business.
Yeah. Absolutely, Erie doing a great job taking care of business. Great to see these two schools, you know, not being at each other's throats. We always want to celebrate sportsmanship, especially in high school sports. It's been real clean, real nice game tonight. And depending this kick, we're not out of the water just yet.
Yeah, Erie's gonna, I think, call a timeout here after they see how Frederick lines up. Of course, Erie last week against Meade in striking distance, and then they couldn't recover the kick that was hit right into the chest of one of the Erie upmen, and that kind of sealed the deal for Meade. And so I think wanting to make sure things are extra right here, as there's only 1:21 left on a frosty night. In fact, it's kind of a little foggy now. Erie with 9 men, kind of within 20 yards here of where the kickoff is taking place.
We are.
Here comes the kick. It's sent back the other way, gets past the first line of defense for the Tigers, but it goes out of bounds, and so Erie will retain possession here with 1:21 left.
Yep, and that's probably going to seal up the game. This has been a real, I mean, the score is actually a little misleading. Erie has been definitely rolling in the second half, but Frederick, they've made it interesting. They played excellent in the first half, keeping it close, showing us why they're considered our rivals.
We'll be real curious to see where we go next week. By the way, if any of you are interested in sponsoring next week's game, it's an expensive one for us to broadcast free, but you can sponsor it, and hopefully it'll be. It's still streaming on our screen, but don't know what happened to our YouTube plug. I think we're back okay. Yep, sorry about that. Little stoppage there as YouTube kind of lost communication with our stream. 40 seconds left. Erie in the victory formation. Well, final thoughts in this one, Alex. Obviously, impressive win. What's your takeaway from tonight?
My takeaway is that Erie could be a dangerous team in the playoffs. You know, they played solidly on defense tonight, picking it up in the second half. The passing game was working. Obviously, Roper was working, and even Wingfield had some pretty good runs while Roper was on the sideline. You really got to wonder what coach told him at halftime, because that seems to be a big part in how they played.
And the first play from scrimmage, no Roper, took it 70 yards to the house. Frederick did respond. Erie came out and they punted, and that's when it felt a little bit like this was going to be a tough game for Erie to win. Well, Erie got a third down stop. They forced Frederick to punt, and they scored, and then it was an onslaught. Erie continued to get stops. They forced turnovers. They scored on just about every possession they had, and, well, that's a recipe for winning football, and the players kind of greeting it out there on the field. Frederick will take one more timeout, and then they'll get the ball back here with 34 seconds left. So not quite out of the woods yet. As Frederick had to burn all their timeouts, Erie was actually kneeling the ball, just wanting to play it safe. And I think some discussion there is, I think Erie a little confused on the number of timeouts that Frederick had. But it's fourth down here, and they will punt. And gotta imagine that your Coach Cooper, you're telling Julian, just punt it out of bounds. Don't want to return. It's a 16-point game right now. Is this one high into the air? That's actually touched and will roll out at the 16. 27 seconds left now. Well, special thanks to TJ. You heard him do a little bit of color there in the first half, and our cameraman here in half number 2, Alex Van Brocklin. He's been the opposite of that, doing some color here in the second half. The Frederick Warrior broadcasting crew, they're starting up. They're kind of where we were a few years ago, small crew trying to do home games, and wish them well as they're getting going.
Yeah, they've been real nice to us tonight. They even came over when I was shivering on the camera and gave me an Oreo. How about that?
17 seconds left. One more run up the middle, and that's going to be short of the first down, and that should do it. And we are going to pack up as quick as we can. We are cold.
Yes, we are.
But Tigers, they will finish the regular season at 8-2, and they are playoff bound. And we are excited. The Erie Tiger fans will come out onto the track. For TJ and Alex, I'm Brandon. Thank you so much for joining us for this broadcast of Tiger football. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the NFHS Network, or you can listen for free live on YouTube to volleyball action as the volleyball team is out in regionals. They take on Widefield and Palmer Ridge. Until then, I'm Brandon Bird.
I'm Alex Van Brocklin.
Hope you have a great night, and we'll chirp at you later.